Hey there, it's ACPL, and with the quest Out of the Devourer, it is revealed that Elidinis became a god through Moonstones, which begs the question, what exactly are Moonstones? So let's talk about it.
Legends say that Elidinis came from humble beginnings, finding her home among a tribe who lived on the edge of the Kharid. Her people suffered from frequent floods, poor harvests, and were beset by a terrible disease. She was one of its countless victims, and though she survived, she was left frail and bedridden for long periods. In her waking hours, she studied magic meticulously, searching desperately for a way to save her people. One night, under the glow of a full moon, a song called to her from the depths of the woods. Recognizing the melody from her research, she rose slowly to her feet and made her way towards the sound of the voice, fighting her body with each step. For 3 days and 3 nights, she followed the call to its source, a secluded grove at the very heart of the woods. At its center lay a sliver of pure moonlight, so radiant that she was unable to even look upon it. Reaching out a hand, she channeled a fraction of her magic into the shard, its melody echoing in her mind in response. It sang of power, the power to lead her people to a bright future. Opening her heart to it, she felt the light overwhelm her, cascading through her soul and flowing from her fingertips like streams of mercury. She directed it towards the earth, shaping it into roads, buildings and spires as easily as a potter shapes clay. When at last the light flickered and dimmed, a city of unparalleled splendor stood before her. It would be named Ulek, and within the safety of its walls, her people would thrive. She had been transformed by the experience, a portion of the moonlight continuing to radiate from her soul. She had ascended. Elidinis knew that the other gods would covet the light she had discovered, so she sealed it within a series of coffers and passed it to the deepest depths of the river Elid. Many have sought its power over the millennia, but all have returned empty-handed, should they return at all. Many years later, the god Tumikan arrived in search of the prospering city and encountered Elidinis by the bank of the river. The radiance of the sun emanated from his being just as she shone with the silvery glow of the moon. With this fated meeting, a union was formed, and from the city of Ulek, our great empire was born.
After completing the quest Out of the Devourer, we received 2 lore books, one of which is called Elidinian Mysteries 1, which was just read to you. We finally learned how Elidinis is ascended to godhood, and that is because of Moonstones. However, the strange thing about Moonstone is that it's unlike any other form of ascension. The 2 main ways that we know for how a mortal can ascend to godhood is by either spending time with an elder artifact or by killing another god. There's also being infused with a bunch of animal or shadow anima, but Moonstones do not really fit any of those descriptions. You might argue that Moonstones could possibly be an elder artifact given the fact that there are still 2 out there that we know nothing about, the hammer and the template. However, I still say that Moonstones don't fit that description. Here is what we do know about Moonstones. They're tied to souls in some way. Elidinis heard music coming from them. They ascended Elidinis to godhood, and one is used in the farm ecology archaeology relic, which prevents herbs and mushrooms from becoming diseased. Now, the archaeology relic might just be an oversight or coincidence, but because they are tied to souls in some way, I don't think they're an elder artifact. Souls are a mortal thing and the elder gods don't really care about life. Life is just a byproduct of their creations. Now onto the topic of ascension, there is actually one other god that we know of who ascended through souls, and that is Gilnor, the god created by Nomad. Nomad fused a bunch of undead souls together to create the god Gilnor, and that's one avenue Moonstones could be, just an influx of souls. Another explanation, and I think this is the most probable, is that Moonstones could very well be related to Blackstone in some shape or way. We know that Blackstones are tied to souls, they're powerful, they can grant you power, and they're tied to music. It's practically a 1-to-1 match with Moonstones. Elidinis was drawn by the music of the Moonstones, was ascended by them, and ultimately became a goddess tied to souls. The only caveat being Moonstones appeared to be the complete opposite of Blackstones. You know, Blackstones make you angry, depressed, mad, and corrupted, whereas we don't see that happening with Moonstones. When Elidinis interacted with the Moonstones, she was very well, quote-unquote, enlightened. She started helping people and creating things. There's also the fact that in the Gate of Elidinis boss fight, you use Moonstone shards to banish the feline ox, and we know that ox are connected to Erebus as that's where their power is drawn from. So it seems to me, and some other people I've talked about, that Moonstones are related to Black Stones. They're just different sides of the same coin. This might propose additional questions such as, to what extent? Did they both come from Erebus? Or maybe do each universe have their own type of stone? Keep in mind, Erebus is a completely different universe, so is it that Black Stone is Erebus' stone and Moonstone is our universe's stone? We don't know. Those are questions where we will hopefully find the answer to with the conclusion of the Desert storyline. Yeah, so those were my thoughts on Moonstones. I was primarily speaking with Pride Slayer about these, but some other theories that we had were Moonstones are related to the other Lord of Erebus, Voss. Moonstones come from previous dead Elder Gods, or maybe Moonstones come from the same material from the mysterious monolith. Let me know any theories you guys might have on Moonstones. I'd love to hear them. Anyways, my name is ACPL, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.